but we have to start with the bouquet. And so here is what the bouquet is made from. We have bay leaf, some flat leaf Italian parsley, some fresh thyme, and beautiful fresh sage leaves. And all we're going to do is put this all together with a cinnamon stick. So you want to tie it with kitchen string. Don't try doing this with dental floss. You have to use kitchen string. And you make a little bouquet with a little knot. And you set this aside because then we have to get our beef ready. So here we have just stew beef. Stew beef, and I've been marinating this overnight because I knew you were coming over with salt and pepper and nutmeg. Here we go with those spices again that we think are used only for baking. So all of that is in here. A little pepper. The meat goes in. And then you want to kind of shake it up in the flour. I want to start with some butter in my stew pot because we're in northwestern Italy. And in northwestern Italy, a lot of dishes are made with butter. I'm not saying they're not also dishes made with olive oil, but in the old tradition, butter was the fat that was used. We really want to brown the meat in sections because you can't add all the meat at once. Otherwise, you will steam it instead of brown it. So just going to have to do it in sections. So add just enough in the pan so it's not crowding. And you brown that, and then you take that out, and then you add the next batch. So we want to let that brown nicely so it gets a little crust on it and seals in the pan juices for the meat. Now you could eliminate the process of having to flour the meat and then brown it if you wanted to, but the reason I did it is because it gives a nice little crust on the beef, and browning the beef ahead of time also helps the flavor. I mean, a lot of people just throw stew beef in a pot, they put in their carrot, their onion, whatever it is, and they let it go. And that's okay, it's good, but it's not going to be as flavorful as this if you take the time to do the extra step. So I am browning the meat first before I even add the onions to the pan. So this is looking good, and I can almost take this out and then go to the next batch because this is, again, mountain cooking. This is, we're in hearty Italian cooking country where you have a lot of polenta, you have a lot of cabbage, you have a lot of root vegetables, you have lots of meat dishes, and this is one classic one. So let's take this out now. And as you brown it, take it out into a bowl. And if you see that your pan is getting dry, you can add more butter as you go along. If you didn't want to use butter, which is traditional, well, then you could use olive oil. That's fine too. All right, so now we can add our next group of beef cubes. Whenever you make a stew, you never want to be in a rush to do this. This is slow cooking, folks. Okay, so we're going to let this batch get brown, and then we're going to take this meat out and get our onions into the same pan. This is the kind of dish you would eat in the Valdosta in the wintertime because it's cold in this area. So this is perfect for winter. So here's, you want probably one good size onion minced up. I've got more onion here than I absolutely need. So we're going to put half of that in. The cooking in this region is really simple. Simple but quality ingredients. That's a little extra pepper. And this stew is actually better the day after you make it. All that meat. You want to give that a good stir. We're going to cook this over low heat. Low heat. I'll get those onions all around the beef. And Now we're going to add the little bouquet I made for you with all those different fresh herbs. The cinnamon goes in right on top like that. We tied it so that it'd be easy for you to take out afterwards. And il vino rosso. We want about 2 cups. Let it cook until it's tender, maybe 45 minutes to an hour. And then we serve it over polenta.